Perhaps it's for lifestyle reasons, work requirements, or you just need a bit more space. You want to make sure that you make a good decision because it's going to have long-term financial impact. Because if you get it right, your next investment or your next upgrade is going to be much easier. You're going to have a lot more capital to work with. And if you get it wrong, you could be stuck with a much bigger mortgage for many, many more years. What's going on, everybody? It's Blandon here from Mortgage HQ. And in this 5-part series, we're going to explore sell to buy. In this video, it's going to be about the reasons to sell. Second video is going to be about reasons not to sell. Thirdly, we're going to look at things to consider when you're upgrading. Fourth, we're going to look at the tips on financing when you're trying to sell to buy. And finally, we're going to look at some of the negotiation tips that's going to put you in a better position when you are looking to sell and buy. And remember, if you find value, smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Now, one of the things that pain me the most as a mortgage advisor in my earlier career is seeing people who are financially ahead, they've paid down their mortgage a huge chunk, and they decide to take a few steps back by maxing out their mortgage to upgrade their home. Now, in most cases, I support this decision, but when they have not built up enough of an investment nest and then they go and max out their mortgage, this could set them back many, many years for their retirement, or to a point where they could stop working and still live the same lifestyle. So here I'm going to share with you 3 reasons you would look to sell to upgrade your home. Firstly, they say happy wife, happy life. Now, I know not everyone watching will have a wife, but keeping our significant other happy is usually life's priority, or one of them at least. Now, if there's a need for more space, perhaps you need to relocate, then you just got to do what you got to do. Now, before you do so though, do think about alternatives, because just blanket increasing your mortgage to upgrade is not always a great idea. Could you potentially create more space by knocking down a few walls, doing some renovations, adding a sleep out perhaps? Or could you potentially rent vest? This is when you rent out your house completely to rent another house. Now, I personally did this for a good 5 years. I rented out my 3-bedroom home and I just rented a 2-bedroom home to live in. This really helped me to accelerate my savings and building my property portfolio. And I was very fortunate. I was able to become mortgage free on my own occupied within just 7 years. And many of our clients have actually done the same. And if you want to learn more exactly on how that works, you could check out mhq.co.nz and check out the masterclasses. There will be a lot more details in there on exactly how you could execute that yourself. Now, second reason to sell is you could see a clear arbitrage and you just couldn't be in a position to borrow enough for both properties. Now, what is an arbitrage in real estate? Simply put, if you could find a house that's exactly the same as yours, you could get it for under the market value and you could sell yours at a market value. You have made the difference and you have the same position. Of course, this sounds like a bit of effort and you are very not likely to be able to find exactly the same. You're more likely to buy something that's better or something that has more capital improvement. But when you think about this, if you were to buy something undervalued, even if it was just 10%, it's usually around $100,000 to $150,000 difference. And for most people, this is more than 5 years of savings. Now, of course, the ideal scenario is to keep your existing home and buy the new one. But if you're unable to service both loans, then the best thing you could do is sell and make that capital gains in that transaction. This is a great way for you to make money on the way in on the deal. And we've had several younger clients who are on single income and just do this on the side, and they've built their first million in equity within that 5 to 7 year mark. Now, the third thing you might want to consider is the mansion effect. One of the arguments to not have capital gains tax is that people would start avoiding property investments and they would invest all their money in owner-occupieds. And they'll find the biggest one possible because it's most likely to be tax-free when you sell that, causing what we call the mansion effect. Now, just in this new tax regulations, you cannot claim the tax deductions on the mortgage interest repayments anymore. This is for all existing dwellings. You can claim the tax on the new builds, but not on the existing dwellings anymore. The second major change is that new builds sold within 5 years, you'll have to pay capital gains tax. And if it's an existing dwelling, if you sell it within 10 years, you'll have to pay capital gains tax. So upgrading your own occupied actually becomes a good investment strategy. Since if you're genuinely going to live in the property that you buy, as an owner occupied, and later on you decide that you need to upgrade, that property when you sell it is actually tax free. Now, of course, I'm no accountant, so definitely check with a chartered accountant before you make that move. And of course, if you're not planning to invest in properties, you don't want to hold anything, upgrading your home is actually a great way to lock in equity gains on a leverage, meaning you're making capital gains on borrowed money. Of course, in this strategy, you don't want to just upgrade to anything or just a nice house in general. If you see this as an investment, then you are better to think about what properties are going to give you the best long-term gains, because this is going to help you set up for the next property that you might buy, or potentially buying another investment property, or just upgrading your home again. Since if you think about it, most cases the property that you're going to buy next is not going to be your last property. And if you found value from this video, remember to hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm. And if you want to learn more about properties and finance in general, subscribe to our channel. In summary, why would you consider upgrading and selling your existing property? First reason, of course, is lifestyle reasons, and you have a need to actually upgrade. This is when you just got to do what you need to do. Secondly is for arbitrage. You could find a deal that is clearly under market value and you could sell yours at a market value. You would make the difference. This would accelerate your equity position. Thirdly, mansion effect. With some of the new tax rules in place, there is a pro argument for putting all your money into the owner-occupied. This is going to be tax-free if you're wanting those assets to be more liquid. Now, making this kind of decision by yourself can be daunting. And if you just need a bit of guidance, you want to understand the different implications if you make those decisions, do not hesitate to reach out to us at support@mhq.co.nz. Someone will be in touch. Alternatively, you can find our calendar on mhq.co.nz. You can just book a call. Someone will just get in touch and talk to you and guide you through and perhaps find you the right advisor that's going to be able to advise you. And until next time, I'll see you guys again.